onefootflipper.
Hi, Paige here, though, One Foot Flipper. I've been sick as a dog all week. That's why you really haven't seen any video from me this last week. That's why I had no live last Friday night. And I'm still not right, but it is Sunday afternoon, so I've got a lot of orders to ship. And this video might also have a segment of orders that I shipped and never filmed. May or may not. We'll see. This first thing that I want to show off, this is not an order. This is just something I'm proud that I found. It is a Buc-ee's plush. ADH Dave, who you might know by his other channel names, such as NC Flipper, Theme Park Buffets, Wilson Phillips Fan Club Official. He's always talking about Buc-ee's and beaver nuggets, and there's no Buc-ee's in my area, but I found this guy, so he's going to go up here on the bar to hang out. Oh good, I just heard my dog come down the steps. I sold this Warhammer figure. It's a Daemon of Chaos Prince, painted $39.99. That was promoted listings though, so eBay will get about 3% extra on that. I am starting to finally come to stop discovering thousands and thousands of dollars worth of unlisted stuff. I still have thousands that I haven't listed money-wise, but I'm not discovering much of it anymore. There's not a lot hidden underneath this bar that I haven't looked through yet, so I'm eventually going to have to go sourcing again. Sold this Heavy Gear RPG Wargame book, $7.06. This has been in the store for years. I file my books left to right, so the new books come in on the right and push the old books to the left. And this was next to last on its shelf, so it survived many markdowns. Probably got put in at COVID-era height prices and thus just took forever to sell. All right, I had one repeat customer buy, and a couple of transactions, but it's all going to try to ship together, a giant lot, 7 pounds of wooden stamps. Yep, those were $27. Then for another $16.43, they bought a couple of albums: Chick Corea, Diana Ross, this wooden stamp, and a set of teacher wooden stamps that I'll just put up here because somehow they didn't make it back behind the bar here. And I'm not going to stop in the middle of this video to hop after them. Sold an O'Fallon Hoots Prospect League cap, $4.49. I have quantity on these because there was about 30 of them in the bins one day, and I was like, well, that's only one listing, so even if I only get $4 or $5 each, not much work to put into it. All right, this one's a big one. For $39.99, I sold this vintage Dana portable safety heater. It's a camping item. It's aluminum, really cool. I got that at my favorite honey hole thrift store. It's one that they will actually cut deals with me. You know, I can actually negotiate prices there. And they know me and they know what I do. I don't go a lot there because they have very low turnover of items there, so it's not worth going into on a daily basis or anything like that. I don't source on a daily basis for that matter. Okay, I sold 3 craft gourds for roughly $37. This one, and this littler one. So, yep, I'm showing the real gourds like you requested. And I went ahead and I bought out my craft gourd supplier because I've sold enough of them now where I know the average that I'm paying her per gourd and the average time it takes me, and I don't need to figure that out anymore. So I went ahead and I bought her out today and got the rest of them from her because I hope to sell them this season. So I will be listing gourds like crazy tomorrow. Dragon Ball Z Scouter Collection. Some sort of toy helmet thing for anime fans, $24.99. Sold a board game replacement piece, Star Wars Electronic Galactic Battle, $2.42. I'm not really into the board game replacement parts anymore, but I still got quite a few of them in my store. Sold a magnetic key caddy, $5.39, vintage Evans Power. Still works just fine. I'll pop these up on the screen since they're kind of wrapped up. I sold 5 Warhammer miniatures. They're called Necron Immortals. These are the older ones made out of metal. These sold for $110 in like a day and a half. Was promoted listings though, so eBay will get 3% on that. I think older Necron figures are worth more than some other older Warhammer figures because Necrons haven't always been in the game. There's not 40 years worth of Necrons to go back to and buy. There's only like 20 years worth of them, so it can really boost the prices of the older, higher quality ones compared to the ones that they make today. The box tops LP, $11.99. Like how it looks like. First it looks like it's a box of cards, but then it looks like they're looking down into a grave. Sold some Warhammer Warp Spiders, just like the other thing. I'll throw a picture of them up there on the screen. $69.99. They also have a super good paint job, so that might have helped their price. Most people like to paint their own stuff, but some people would rather just pay for something nicely painted. Sold another Warhammer sprue, $9. At least $1,500 or $1,600 have come out of that sprue bag from some episodes ago. Sold a lot of 4 Jackson Browne albums, $9.99. Nothing major there. I'll pop it up on the screen because it's upstairs. I sold a Dragon Ball Z Sagas, Sony PlayStation 2, disc only, $7.16. I'm going to predict that this will have a return or a claim placed upon it. It is a triple threat for that because, one thing, it's a video game. Second thing, it's a disc-only video game. Third thing is, it's anime related. So that gives it 3 brutal check marks. Let's see. Does the person have a weird name? Okay, the person does not have an aggressive username, so at least it doesn't get a 4th check mark there. Let's see if I'm right about that. Sold these Ultra Pro Liliana card sleeves, $11.48. All right, let's get to the next part. All right, I'm finally starting to get over being sick, but there was still a whole week of stuff that got shipped out that didn't make episodes, so we'll start looking at some of that stuff. Mostly going to pop it up on the screen because it's all already left the house for the most part, and a lot of the stuff is already there. Sold this broken Indy Race Team watch for $5.53. I had another similar one that wasn't broken that sold for over $30, maybe a year ago. Sold this Easton softball bat, $17.09. Great profit since I normally pay $1 for bats. And I sold this NXS cassette tape. Big $3.23 there. At least it's easy listed, easy ship. Now, what I didn't sell is that a customer pretty aggressively negotiate a price on a big wargaming miniature thing. Got me down to $400. I agreed to it. I changed the price to $400. He said, okay, great, I'll buy it at halftime. And then crickets. Never bought it, never anything else. I'm about to change the price back on that. Don't know why he'd go through all that and then not buy it. Sold this unstretched painting. This is like, these were professional oil paintings, and when I mean professional, I mean not as in to hang in a museum, but to hang in somebody's house, you know, assembly line art. It's golf clubs and cowboy boots, 24 by 20 on an unstretched canvas. Sold for $35.99. Sold 3 record albums. Got Santana, Shango. Each of these were about $10 to $11 because the total was $30. $157 was all the same customer. Don McLean, American Pie. And we got The Doors, Greatest Hits. Not bad overall choices there. For $9.99, I sold this vintage 1968 Happy Face game for youngsters. That took quite a long time to sell because most collectors of vintage board games prefer things that are licensed. You know, licensed games are games that are more fun for adults, not necessarily things like this, young children's games that also aren't a license or anything interesting. I was happy to sell this Kiki D Band, I've Got the Music in Me album for a whole $2.66. I was happy because for some reason every time I stuck my hand into that section of the record albums, that particular one would come out. Alright, we'll get back to the rest of it in a moment. Oh, before I forget, I sold this lot of 4 vintage Air Force magazines from the 1940s for $13.92 plus shipping. I am well into the black on my vintage airplane magazines. Alright, we've got a few more sales here. Yvette, who's my new customer of the year because she knows how to take advantage of combined shipping, bought a Death Pile Monster. There'll be a link to her store below in the description. And some wooden stamps. So, combined shipping. Good for her. Thanks a lot. I sold a little baggie full of 7 Warhammer figures, poorly painted, newer plastic ones, $12.59 plus ship. So even the newer bad ones can get you a little bit of money. I sold a lot of 27 Batman comic books. I tend to sell my comic books 27 at a time because that's how many I'm always able to cram into that priority flat rate envelope. I can get more if they don't have bags and boards, but comics usually tend to have bags and boards on them. That sold for $35.99. I sold a balloon hot air balloon Christmas ornament. Says Addison on it. I have quantity of these, every possible name available. Sold a medieval Lady Barbie, $15.75. Believe I paid $10 for her and 2 of her friends in the same series. She's the first one to sell, but she paid for the other 2. Sold a set of 1994 Games Workshop Blood Bowl blocking dice, $20. Yep, $20 for 4 little dice. Sold an album, Chris Rea, Whatever Happened to Benny Santini, and I have no idea who either one of those people are, but did sell for $4 and is going to now exit my life, which is really what I want with more of this stuff. Also, I bought out a few of my consigners. I might have recently mentioned I bought out my gourd pseudo consigner because at this point I knew the gourd business. I knew what I'm going to pay her for each gourd, so I went ahead and got the rest of them, paid her for all of them. That way I get the expenses on the book this year. And one of my other bigger consigners, she said she was moving, so I went ahead and I looked at my books on her and I went ahead and I bought out her remaining stuff, and one of which was this PlayStation Need for Speed High Stakes, $8.72. $7.60 craft gourd. This is about as cheap as they'll get because it's about as small as the ones that I have will get. Matter of fact, I'm going to spend most of the day, either later today or tomorrow, depending on how I feel, listing the rest of my gourds, and then I'll never have to list another gourd again because I want them all to sell this fall. I don't want them to be hanging around into next fall because they do not sell spring and summer at all. All right. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope to see you again real soon.
How much did you pay for those 2?
I had them in my collection already.
I need those 2.
You gotta do that, right, Devin? Like
They both fit in blue.
Oh, are you paying life?
Yes.
Dope.
He has to move his diapers.
He's trying to move his die.
Yes, 2.
You got it, man. You got it.
Pay 2.